Cashew tofu is one recipe which I make pretty often because it's so easy to make and you will never miss going out to a restaurant for this. So let's begin. Here I have taken extra firm tofu which I patted dry with a towel and then kept it pressed for an hour or so to squeeze out any water in it so that it becomes completely dry. We are going to make this tofu crispy for this dish. As you can see here, I am tearing some tofu with my hands and not cutting it. Tearing the tofu by hand will make the edges very crunchy when we bake or air fry it, and also any sauce or spices that we add to the tofu will also stick better to it. So just roughly tear the tofu into bite-sized pieces like this. So here I have a full big block of tofu, but I will only use some of the tofu for this dish, and rest I will be leaving for another recipe. This crunchy tofu can also be added to salads. So after tearing the tofu pieces, I am adding some avocado oil to it and then some light soy sauce. Give it a good mix to coat all the pieces. It's not essential to add avocado oil to it. You can also add any cooking oil, but oil with high smoking points is much better for this recipe. I'll be mentioning all the quantities and all the step-by-step method of this recipe in the description, so do check that out for the full recipe. Also subscribe to my channel and do let me know in comments from where are you watching. I would love to interact with you all. So now the next step is to add some corn flour in the tofu and coat it nicely and gently, either with a spatula or with your hands. It just needs to be a thin layer of corn flour, and add corn flour little by little and keep mixing it. Here I ended up using 3 big spoons of corn flour. Once the tofu pieces are coated, I'll be air frying it. So actually I baked the tofu in my air fryer for 25 minutes on 350 Fahrenheit, and I also turned the pieces once in between so that it becomes crisp from the other side too. While the tofu is baking, let's make this sauce. Here I am adding 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. You can also add tamari instead, 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce, and 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, and 1/4 cup of vegetable stock, and a spoon of corn flour. And give it all a good mix and set it aside. Corn flour will make the sauce thick when we cook it, and then it will be coated well on the tofu. Now add some avocado oil and a dash of sesame oil in a pan or wok and mix it. Sesame oil gives a very good flavor to this dish, so try not to skip it. But if you don't have sesame oil, still give this dish a try and you won't regret it. Next goes in some white stalk part of green onions and some minced ginger and garlic. Let this cook on low to medium heat for about 2 minutes. This is top part of about 8 green onions which I have chopped roughly, and 5 garlic cloves and an inch of ginger peas. If you prefer less garlic, then reduce the amount as per your liking. After it is slightly cooked, I added the sauce which we mixed earlier. Give it all a good stir and let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes on low heat. As the sauce cooks, it will thicken due to the corn flour in it, but if you feel it has become too thick too soon, then just add few tablespoons of water. So here I added a few tablespoons of water to get the right consistency. Also the sauce will get darker in color as it cooks. To this I am adding 1 spoon of chili sauce. Now this is completely optional and you can skip it if you don't like your dish to be spicy. But the amount I am adding is just for a little zing and it won't make the dish too spicy. And also it won't be bland on your taste buds. As the sauce is simmering, I am also adding a dash of crushed black pepper. Not too much, just 2-3 pinches is good. All this process after putting the sauce in the pan should take less than 5 minutes, just enough to blend all the flavors. Immediately after that, we add in our crispy tofu and mix it well. For this dish, I would recommend to mix the tofu in the sauce only when you are about to eat it soon. If you keep the dish too long or for later, then some crispiness of the tofu will be lost. At last, add the other star ingredient, that is these toasted salted cashews, and give it a good mix. So now the sauce is all well coated on tofu and cashews and the dish is done. Just garnish it with some green onions and some toasted sesame and serve hot with some rice and steamed vegetables of your choice. So do try this dish and let me know in comments how did you like it, and Also let me know in your comments what other dishes would you like to see. Thank you for watching.